Flosstube, it's Brandy. This is my third time trying this. Cheers. My dumb phone decided to give me a notification. I was halfway through, and my phone decided to notify me of medication to take, and it turned off my video. And I know that I could take two videos and splice them together to turn it into one, but that's kind of a headache, and I don't know how to do all of that, and quite frankly, I don't want to learn. Not right now. So anyway, I'm starting all over. Sometimes technology is not as wonderful as you would think. So anyway, I am Brandy. Hello. It is good to be with you today. I am on Flosstube. I am Every Home Needs a Gnome. And then I design under the name Bojo Mojo Design Co. And I will put links to my Etsy store down below. As well as links to other things. Because I do other things too. Holy cow, you guys. What a day. I have a lot to cover because I'm going to do a WIP Parade. I keep looking over here like y'all are over here. You're over here. I don't know. I'm getting very confused. I need more coffee. Just a deep breath. So I was doing some training this last week to be a Genesis recovery counselor. And we started every day doing some meditative, just like deep breathing and prayer. And it was so nice. And I really need to incorporate that into my life. Probably about every hour would be wise. I don't know how y'all are doing, but sometimes I get a little frazzled. So, okay, before we start with the whips, I'm going to start with some finishes because, ta-da, I have some. So back in, I don't even know when, but a while back, a friend of mine, Glenn, over at Southern Stitcher on Flosstube, sent me a Gnome sampler by Raise the Roof. And I finished stitching it for June 21st, which is International Gnome Day. But I hadn't actually gotten a full finish on it. So I really wanted to get that done. So, cha-ching! Whoops. Cha-ching! There we go. That is so much better. So, that is Raise the Roof Gnome Sampler. And I just finished it. I just used some upholstery tacks to tack it to a little, I don't know, some little board thing. The sad thing is that my little upholstery nails popped right through. And oops, but oh well. I will fix that and then I will hang it in my office. The other thing, my tongue, it got twisted and it didn't work. The other thing that I finished was a piece that I showed you last time that I had started stitching back in the early 2000s when my daughter was just a wee little thing. She's now 17 years old. It's been a few years. And I came across this pattern and I finished it. And I don't even have the cover with me right now. But anyway, here's the finish. And I realized while I was finishing it that while I was finishing stitching it, that I didn't have all of the original threads that it came with. And so I had to kind of make do with what I had. And for the most part, I was able to be pretty successful with that. I also had to do French knots, which I haven't done in a really, really long time. There's a lot of them on here. Like her pajamas are all French knotted. And then on the bed, some of them are not so great. I don't like doing French knots. That's what I learned. Anyway, I'm glad to have this done. Yeah. Another thing is a giveaway because a while back, like quite a while back, I did a giveaway for this little pin pillow and the lady that won it never got back in touch with me. So we're going to just put it back up for a giveaway. And if you would like it, just say I love the pin pillow, and I will know what you mean, and then I'll find the winner on August 12th is my plan. So you have until August 12th to decide if you like this and want it. So I stitched it. I did not design this. I can't remember. It was in a stitching magazine, and so I just stitched it. So anyway, and there's the back of it. And it's filled with polyfill. So that can be yours if you want it. If you don't, I probably won't cry. It'd be weird if I did. So, a couple other things before we get to the WIP Parade. A while back, if you follow me on Instagram, you already know this, but a while back, I was at Craft Warehouse with my 2 kiddos, and we came across these. This is a little hedgehog. And then there was also a fox and an owl. And when I saw this, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. It's just a little dish. And I wanted to turn it into a little jar for pins and for orts. And so I did. Just a minute. Oops. So yeah, that's a thing I need to fix because the lid does not like to stay on. But goodness sakes, that was funny. So yeah, there's how it looks kind of from the side. And here's the design. It's a grasshopper. So it's a hopper on a hog. It makes me so happy because who doesn't love grasshoppers and who doesn't love hedgehogs? I don't know, probably a lot of people. Now that I'm saying it, I'm realizing a lot of people don't like either of those things, but I love them both. Hopper on a hog. I think it's adorable. So this is a free little chart I'm giving away to anybody who wants it. It can be found on my blog, which again, I'll post a link down to below. So you can have access to that if you would like. I'm loving like egg cups. I'm assuming that's what this is. Now that I'm looking at it, it might not be. But egg cups and little things like this that just have little small openings, I am obsessed with these things because I just constantly want to make little pin cushions out of them. I don't know why. I just love them so very much. So that's what I've been doing. Okay. So what I've decided to do is because I do my own designs, plus I do some model stitching, plus I stitch for some commission work sometimes. I don't have a lot of time for just fun stitching always. So what I decided to do was to take all of my WIPs, or well, most of my WIPs, gather them up, get them all re-kitted, make sure I have everything that I need, and then using the Tiny Decisions app on my phone, I'm going through and I'm going to spend 1 week on each project until they're done, is my plan. We'll see how this goes. I think I have like 13 projects, so, and I'm just on my very first week. So instead of doing like the 24-hour challenge with quirks and stitches, I'm doing this because it works better for my brain, I think. So let's get started with the WIP Parade, shall we? All right, first of all, we have got a freebie. This is by Plum Street Samplers, and it is called Our Savior's Birth. And here is what I've got so far. Sorry about the Christmas lights behind me. Maybe if I do this. So I don't know why I started up in the corner and not like right in the middle, which would have been so much smarter, but I didn't. That's not how I rolled for whatever reason, and cut it a little close. So we'll see how that goes. This is another freebie by Heartstring Samplery called Auld Lang Syne. And again, I've got really wonky fabric. So originally I had started over on this side where I had lots and lots of room. And then by the time I started getting over to this side, I realized I did not have enough fabric. So, so I had to take it all out and start over. Been doing a lot of frogging lately. It's what I do best, honestly. Let's just be honest. All right. So here's another thing that I haven't actually started yet. It is a D20 dice that I designed for my son for a Christmas ornament that was supposed to be given to him last Christmas. I failed. But I'm going to stitch it on this white piece of linen, and I'm going to use red, orange, and yellow because those are his favorite colors, and those are the colors that he picked out. It seems like the right thing to do. So there's that. And here's another freebie. I'm really all about freebies because I'm on a tight budget. I love supporting designers, and I love paying them for their work, but I don't have the budget to do that as often as I would like. So mostly I use freebies or gifts that people send to me, which I value very, very much. So this is a freebie by Sub Rosa, Needles and Pins Needle Book. And that's where I'm at with that. I love the colors on this so much. And I love the linen that I'm using. I don't even remember what linen this is. It's just a scrap I had. But I love it so, so much. I've decided that linen is like, can make or break a project. I have one project in here that I really don't like the linen for. And I'm not very far into the project, and I'm thinking about getting some new linen. I just don't know that I can afford to right now. So I keep hoping that that project won't come up on my little tiny decision app. We'll see. Okay, this one is Abby Rose Designs, Summer Pin Pillow. And I finished the spring one a while back and showed you that. And now I am working on summer. And I'm using all DMC threads pretty much for everything, unless I'll say otherwise if I'm not. And I have to be honest, I'm not 100% loving, because like that's filled in with white, but you can't really tell. The roof is white, but you can't really tell. And on the camera, it's kind of blasted out a little bit, but even in person, it's just not quite showing. So I think I might redo that, is what I'm thinking. But that will be a decision for another day. This one is, I don't have the cover for it, but it is Beth Twist at Heartstring Samplery's C is for Coffee. I literally have hardly anything done on it. This was my linen. I think I bought this like off of a bolt and then dyed it. That's what I think I did. I'm not loving it either. It's a wonky stitch. And I really like this piece. And so I'm kind of bummed. But anyway, I can't show you the cover for it, so sorry. Okay, now I've also got Ghoul by Plum Street. This was gifted to me. I am so excited about this. And here's where I'm at. Just getting a little squirrel. I assume that's a squirrel. It looks like a squirrel, I think. Anyway, I'm so excited about it. I even used, I grabbed my favorite piece of fabric for it because I was very excited. All right, we're just whipping right through this WIP parade, aren't we? I'm on such a time limit with my camera, and so I feel like I'm rushing, and I probably should like slow down just a scotch. Anyway, here's another Plum Street. I've got a lot of Plum Street, don't I? Gentleman's Daughter. This was also a gift. I like gifts. Gifts are so nice. Here is where I'm at. This is one that I've actually worked on quite a bit as of late, though the past 2 weeks I've completely put this aside. So actually that's not entirely true. It's not entirely true. Last week while I was at my training, I brought this project to work on. Because we've got like an hour lunch break, and I was taking the train in, and so I was like, well, I'll stitch on the train or whatever. That did not happen. Literally, here's the amount I got done. His white stockings. That is it. That was a week's worth of stitching right there. Oh well. Some weeks are like that, right? So here's another heartstring sampler-y one called Pins and Orts. Now this is, Beth gifted this to me. It was actually for a thing, for like a retreat or something. And for my birthday, she gave one to me. She's since kind of redesigned it a little bit for public consumption, but I have the original. And that's as far as I am on it. But it's going to be adorable when it's done. I fell in love with that one. When I saw the finished piece, I just like, I oohed and awed and went kind of a little bit crazy over it. And I think Beth took pity on me and gifted me a copy, which was a very nice gift to receive. So, sorry, I got such a scratchy throat. I'm using my bee mug today, and I realized I should have used my oofta mug, because it's an oofta kind of day. All right, here's another Sub Rosa freebie. This is actually found, I mentioned this on my last video. It's found on the Prim Stitcher Society Facebook page. So if you go there, then you've got access to some free charts. And mostly, though, it's just a really neat community of stitchers who are into the primitive stitching. So, yeah, it's a good place to be in touch with Prim Stitchers. So here's as far as I am with that. I'm using the recommended color, the DMC conversion of it. And I'm just not sure. I have some blues too that I keep thinking maybe I'd like to do instead. I just don't know. I asked my family for input, and they were like, we don't care. So, the choice is mine. All right, this is from Cross Stitch Magazine, Just Cross Stitch, from April of 1996. It's a little bit old. Pastel sampler. This was like in the day when you couldn't find samplers in magazines, so it was very rare, and I was very excited to find it. And I started stitching it actually on Aida, and then decided when I started stitching on linen that I wanted to do that instead. And here's the dilemma. The linen that I have is crap linen. It is so crap. And I don't love the color of it. And I think I even tried to like coffee stain it, and it just didn't do anything. That's as far as I've got. It's almost kind of like on the camera you can't tell, but the linen almost has a little bit of a green tone to it. I I don't know. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the color of it. I'm just not convinced. So I'm thinking about getting different linen for it too, since I'm not very far into it. We'll see. All right, I'm almost done. So this is a piece that comes from a book called Folk Art Needlepoint. And the piece is actually just called Floral Purse. And it's that right there. And it is meant to be like a little purse thing. But I'm not going to do it as a purse. I'm going to just do it as like a wall hanging. So again, that's what it is. And this is where I'm at. And this is done on the, it's like almost like mock linen. Oh gosh. Somebody told me what it's called and I can't remember. But it's got a weird name to it. Anyway, I like the colors in it. We'll see how it goes. I haven't stitched on it in a long, long time. So finally, the last piece. This is the piece that my Tiny Decisions app chose for me this week. And it is in the same book, but it is called the Hannah Carter Tapestry. So this is a full cover piece. I mean, it's like, those are all stitches. Here's the original. And then that's the reproduction. This is where I'm at. Again, I started stitching this on Aida, and I actually did that for a very particular reason, and that was because since it was going to be a full coverage, I don't mind it being on Aida. I'm not a big Aida fan, but it really is. I mean, it's really hardy fabric. It's hard to argue with that. So just going to be full coverage. I originally, when I first started this, I stitched with a hoop. I was a hoop stitcher. Well, now I'm over here. Just this little piece here is all I've added. And I'm doing that in hand. And it's a lot harder to stitch in hand when you're doing 2 over 1. Who knew? So, because I'm also used to only using 1 thread. It's been a long time since I've done 2 threads on anything. So this is taking me back, and it's fun. I love the colors in this piece, so I'm really looking forward to getting it done. So yeah, we'll just see how this goes. It's just going to be every week, whatever free stitching I can do. I'm just going to focus, this week on the Hannah Carter piece, and then next week we'll see what my app gives for me. And then I'll just keep rotating through until I'll just do 13 weeks, and then I'll rotate through again until a piece is finished. And then once it's finished, I'll take it completely out of the rotation, of course, and we'll just kind of go from there. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it because what I tend to do is I get so excited about all these new projects. Like, I'm sure none of you can relate to this at all. And then I get things started, and then I don't finish them. And then you start to lose steam. And some of these pieces, you guys, I have literally been working on for like a lot of years. The Hannah Carter piece, I probably started about 10 years ago, and I just lost steam on it, and I got busy doing other things. So I think it'll be good to kind of help me stay on track, keep focused, and then, it's just, I won't get bored with each project because, I'm only working on it for a week. And I think that'll be good. That's my hope. So I think it's always good to try new things. And I was really excited. I was really going to do the 24-hour challenge with Quirks and Stitches with Jen, but I started looking at it and I was like, I didn't know how to fit in the pieces that I currently had as WIPs into the you know, the requirements or whatever. And even though it's like really loose, my brain just wasn't working to do it. And I was like, I can't spend this much time thinking about how this fits into, you know, the acrostic. And so I was like, I'm just going to do it on tiny decisions and we'll just work for 1 week on each project. And I think that was good because it kind of freed me up mentally. I was kind of having a mental block. So, and right now I just don't have time for a mental block. I've been really busy working on the podcast, and I've been working. I've been working. I've been really busy working on Genesis training. So, if you don't know anything about Genesis, it's a recovery process, and for both addiction, like alcohol or drug addiction, or just life change. If you're just not sure why you keep doing the same stupid things, Genesis process can help you figure it out. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, and I'm excited about all of it. And I'm most excited that you guys are here with me today. And I thank you so much for your continued support and friendship and encouragement. And I would just challenge you to, man, in light of everything that's happened in the past week, it hasn't even been that long, y'all. We've had some pretty tragic things happen in our country, and honestly, it's just been a year of it. So, just go out and give a smile. Tell somebody that they're valuable, and remember why you're here, and that's to be a light giver, and go shine some light in a dark corner somewhere. All right, you guys have an awesome day. I love you lots, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.